And we are good.
And good afternoon, everybody. Today is May 12th, the meeting of the Utilities Committee. I'll ask everybody to introduce themselves. I'm Jay Rosepepe, Chair of the Utilities Committee and City Council member.
Okay, Heidi Fenton, City Council member. Shira Dedman, City
Dennis
Council
Ryan,
member.
Dennis Ryan, Public Works Director.
We have a published agenda. We had one item that was wanted to be added regarding a discussion on water quality report. And so we'll add that. I would like to see if we can hold the meeting to about 5:30 because since we have another meeting afterwards. So Dennis, you've got the first item on Old Clifton.
Yep. So just a update on Old Clifton. So we are nearing the completion of the 60% design. We have a scope ready to go to bring us to 60 to 100%. Consular Engineering is doing that project. We've got the booster pump fairly designed complete. The next step is we do have an active application in for the low interest public works loan for $652,000. And so they will make a final decision on that on in the June. So hopefully this comes in front of council to accept the public works loan and then to also award 60 to 100%. So we are tracking for project start in December 2027.
All right, any questions? I have one. Okay. Um, just, I know this is 2027. There was how I would say, a surprise from an upcoming county project that's going to significantly impact traffic on the west side of SR3. So I just would ask that when we start looking at the traffic impacts on Old Clifton from the intertie, that we get the word out as earlier than what the county did.
It will be a months long public interaction. It'll be a
Yeah,
big campaign. And then also we will have Anderson Hill that might be starting in similar time frame.
cool. That'd be
Yep.
nice. Okay. All right. Next item, which probably have some good discussion, is Foster Pilot.
Yes, so we are kicking off. We're entering into a scope agreement with a surveyor who will do the preliminary feasibility and survey. Made contact with both property owners for this. I'm sorry, this is for the Foster pilot. And so part of the Foster pilot is we are required to do in-place mitigation, which includes stream augmentation. This is one of several different areas that we're having to do. But the big one for us right now is Parish Creek, because once we get that mitigation plan in place and once we start augmenting that creek, we can bump up our capacity to produce water at well 11. So we are starting the initial survey, feasibility study. I've made contact with both the property owners of where our intended course is going to be. They're willing to have a discussion with us to locate that line on their property. We will have to compensate them for the right of way and for the easement. I'm sorry, it's not right of way, it's just easement, but that's tracking. Another big development is that the tribes have reached out to the city and wanted to see if we are a willing participant in a regional mitigation plan. One of the things they want to see is managed aquifer recharge. This is very similar to what Yelm did, where they got their foster water rights. That was one of the things that have made them successful. They're the only agency that's been successful up to this date. So I will be meeting with Mason County, Kitsap County, and Pierce County and the tribes to see if we can come up with a great project plan. This is great because we're not going at it alone. We've got regional partners, so it's much better approach if it works out. And then we have got our first update on the memorandum of understanding. We have to have these MOUs with local partners, agencies in place before Ecology will review our resubmitted application. And we've got the first one that is with West Sound, And then we have drafted MOUs that we are preparing to provide to our tribal partners. We will take those to city council before we make those MOU offers.
Question.
Go
On,
ahead.
on well 11, that's out out by McCormick, serving all McCormick Woods.
Correct.
Uh-huh. And well, it sounds like that Foster pilot, those updates are good, but I mean, it's been a difficult process, hasn't it, with this particular one, or going okay, pretty smooth?
Well, it's nearly a decade in the making. Councilmember Rosa Pepe has far more history on this than I do. I haven't been here that long, but it's been a journey. It's been a journey, but things are moving, and the relationship with the our partners at the Suquamish and the Squaxin Island, the conversation and dialogue has been good.
Good.
So if you could go back up to, is this a parallel that we get to we start augmenting Parish Creek and bringing more water into well 11 before we sign the MOUs, or are they tied together?
We will be able to produce a little more water. Uh, it's significant for what it will give us. But it's not the full capacity. I mean, we will not have the full capacity to pump well 11 until we have Foster in place.
Okay, and that blessing comes from the state once we have the MOU signed with our regional partners.
Yes. And we want to have the MOUs in place. We don't want any contesting or appeals filed against our mitigation plan.
And does this tie in then with the production on well 11, then tie in with the intertie?
The intertie is going to give the city the ability to move water from all of our zones throughout the city.
Right. Okay.
So if we have right now, we've talked about our difficulties with well 7 not producing what we want to see it producing as. So if we get into these times where we have peak demand in one zone, we can move water back and forth.
Okay, so it's really two separate
things.
Two separate projects. Okay. For just history, Heidi, this Foster started over 9 years ago, and we were one of 5 cities that went with the Foster pilot project that we've been working on. We've really made a lot of strides, I think, in the last 2 years, Dennis, with working with the tribes. I think one of the surprises for us was finding out that one of our aquifers in the wells over on McCormick Woods, correct me if I'm wrong, Dennis, went all the way into Allen. And so that brought another tribe into the mix, the Squaxin tribe, when before we were just working with the Suquamish tribe for water rights. Is that correct, Dennis?
That's my understanding.
Yeah.
Chair Rosa Pepe, we do have a question, and I'm sure we've got 2 representatives from the McCormick Development that are asking a question, if you want me to acknowledge them.
If that's okay with the other members, usually we don't take public questions at committee meetings. Is that okay?
I'm okay with that. That's okay with me.
Go ahead.
All right. This is Greg Krabby, and I will give him the mic here. Go ahead, Greg.
Thank you, Dennis. Just a very quick question. This is the first time I've heard about the regional mitigation planning idea. So this is good news, I believe. Can you tell me again when you're intending to attend that?
This is I got to look at my calendar, Greg, and we met last week, and it's that new. So it just got scheduled yesterday, and I will tell you. I think it's in June. I'd have to find it, Greg, but I can get back with you on that.
Okay, so I mean, then conceivably, if the city participates in regional planning, does that mean the tribes would accept that as your mitigation?
Not in the planning itself.
No.
Okay.
Yep. We're gonna end up having to do some augmentation. I think that's been the expectation all the way around. The question is where and how much. Is that correct, Dennis?
That's correct. And that's something that we'll brief council in executive session before we get to that level.
So this is a good faith effort, but it's not really going to have a direct impact on your application, your foster application.
Um, Being at the table and having these conversations are going to assist the city in our hopes of not having appeals.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
And
Thanks.
I'll let you know, Greg, when we have that meeting.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Anything else on Foster Pilot?
Are we hoping this is gonna, oh, sorry, are we gonna, hoping this is gonna get done too with the intertie in 2027?
I am not optimistic that we will be totally wrapped up and have Foster in 2027. I think we'll be close. We'll definitely have our draft mitigation plan resubmitted. We've already submitted it once. It was pushed back and with some comments. I'm hoping we'll have that done this year. 2027, I don't want to overpromise that.
Okay.
All right, next item up was stormwater utility fees for impervious surfaces.
That's me again. So I don't know if everybody recalls, several weeks ago, we had some public comment on our stormwater fees. Our stormwater fees is based off of impervious surface area. So a single family residential home has 3,000 ISU. I'm sorry, a single family residence is at least one ISU, impervious surface unit. We use that same methodology when we measure the mall, the schools, our large parking lots. Those are all calculated. Users, customers pay proportionate share of what the impact to the stormwater system in the city. And these fees collected are how we developed our stormwater master plan. It's how we calculate our rates for our commercial, our residential customers. So it was an equitable way by the more impervious surface area that any business, resident, school, jail has in the city. They pay by ISU, so every 3,000 square feet. We had the request, it was a church locally, about if there's anything they can do on site to minimize their ISU impacts. I wanted to share with the council because this did come as public comment and I was asked to follow up. The county has a program where if it's engineered and they can prove that treatment meats are treated on site, there can be some reduction of the impervious surface calculation rate for that customer. But I will warn that any altering is going to have a system-wide impact because all those fees collected go to treat the city's stormwater infrastructure from all of our roads. The city has over 100 lane miles of roads, so we have to treat, our goal is to treat all that stormwater and develop programs where we are treating this water and cleaning it before it hits Sinclair Inlet. So I'm just bringing it in front of you. If it was something that the council desired that the city look into further.
Have we brought this appeal forward? I mean, it was obviously a discussion, but I haven't heard any more of that. Have either Shar or Heidi, have you heard any more from this constituent?
No, just I think during that one time, and we're talking about the laundromat, right?
No, this was a church. The
Oh,
citizens
that's right. Yes,
church.
the church.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything more back on that.
I've been in communication with the citizen, and I assured him we were going to talk about it. But I just want to make sure that if we mess with our stormwater rate structure, if we take away from our big users and we starting programs, if people can start not having to pay their impact, it's going to affect. I mean, these are largely commercial and industrial, right? So it would relate and probably increases to our residential customers. Every action has a reaction.
Right. Well, in this one, I mean, the church wasn't like a big industrial using a ton of water either, right?
No, but when you have I mean, if you think about if you have a single family lot in your house in your neighborhood, um, imagine the park close to somebody's house is totally paved over, right? That's a big fee, right? If they're paying for you're paying for your roof and your driveway. Those are
Mhm.
your impervious surface areas. So when you have a very, very large parking lot, all that water has to go somewhere. And then their fee is going to be more because it's proportionate to how much impervious surface they have.
Yeah, this is the runoff from essentially rain for the stormwater cleanup.
Mhm.
All water eventually goes through the city's MS4.
Mhm.
And so it's not the cost of maintaining a single house runoff or a single business. It's where the fees go to treat, support the entire infrastructure throughout the city.
Mhm. Well, at least you're in contact. You've been in contact with them, with the church.
Yep.
Um, just out of curiosity, and I know we didn't have, I can't remember whether we had more of a discussion on this, Dennis. Um, obviously, are we working more with folks that get pervious surfaces? Because I know that several people do that with their parking lots and even their sidewalks.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely the city encourages we call them low impact or lid developments. We've got a couple of people from the development community here. It's encouraged because it minimizes the impact and the pollutants and able to collect water quicker and treat it. Planning, they're going to look for opportunities to um, cut down on the impervious surface if it's not needed. Did that answer the question?
Yes, I mean it's something that people can mitigate as they build, or they can replace to help cut down on that. All right. I didn't see anything else. Shara, you wanted to talk about the water quality report.
No, I was told we don't have time, so I'm planning for that for their next month.
Okay. Next utility we on that. Uh,
Hmm.
because we do have a little time now. That's where we
It's
going.
okay. We'll do
I
it
didn't I didn't
next
know
month.
how
That way it'll be a bit more preparation.
that's all right. I didn't know how long Foster Pilot would take
I,
because sometimes
I
All
that's
good. All good.
I thought the last topic would be a lot lengthier. Also, if I can have possible questions, I can answer anything tonight that I can try my best. But if there's certain areas for clarification that I can help expand on, anything that comes up, if you want me to answer now, I can try.
but
No,
That's okay with you.
I was hoping that we could have a presentation per the email. I was like a presentation because not only is it good for us, it's also good for the community. They receive a report. A lot of them don't know what it means, how to look at it. And so it's not just helping us to understand it, it's also helping our community to understand it. So it was good to get a high level presentation, which is why at this point, I think it's just better to wait till next time for that to be able to happen.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough. Thank you.
Um, uh, Thank you.
Anything else for the good of the order then?
I had one thing. I just want there's a little bit more news on well 7. We are not producing the water that we have been historically, and we are determining that it's probably the aquifer or the well needs to be rehabbed. So the city's doing a few things. We're evaluating about putting a pump in it to assist us in the summertime. We're also looking at a PRV that we can move water from another pressure zone to help fill that reservoir. So we're taking steps to keep it going through the summer, and we might be scheduling a rehabilitation of that well in the fall once the dry weather stops and the demand goes down.
And Dennis, didn't we already say yes as a city council body to pay for a pump isn't that the one to bring out the water more?
You've been briefed. We're still working on getting a design and got to get power to it. So there's a couple moving pieces. You will see another request for a PRV. We talked about that too. Um, so we're keep moving on that. But I'm segueing into that because I would just want to point out that it's 80 degrees. It's just into the second week of May. There's already wildfires. The city is in a drought. We are doing outreach. We had staff reach out to McCormick Communities today to get in their newsletter like they did last year, but we're going to do odd and even watering days. It is it is a recommendation for now. We are trying to minimize the demand on the water system. We don't want everybody watering at the same day at the same time. You don't need to water every day. If you can just offset it. There's certain situations like new turf or sports field, new plantings, vegetation. There's exceptions to it, unless it gets extreme. But we're gonna be pushing that heavy this summer because we're already in a drought and it's already a statewide declared emergency. So just be mindful of that.
Today did not seem like 80-degree weather. I'm just saying.
It's 80 right now.
That's crazy. This doesn't seem like it. When I look outside, I see clouds, a little wind. No, anyway.
All right. See everybody at the meeting tonight at 6:30. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.